Hi, this is Ian at Wirral Computer Services. We've got a Sony Ericsson Xperia that won't run off the battery, at least it wasn't. I've had it on charge. I've got a universal charger, USB charger there. So I've had it on charge. I'm trying to click the power button, see if we'll get any live. We're not. When we do plug when we plug it into the USB, it does start to load up. Let's see if we can get it on there. Right, so there we go. So it's just started to, sorry, the wire off the USB is really short, and this, it's not, I don't think that's charging icon. I think that's telling us that there's a battery fault. That icon, it's like a battery with a lightning bolt going through it, and the green light on the top is illuminated, on the power button is illuminated. Like I say, I've had that on charge for a while. Try pressing the power button to see if anything will happen. That power button doesn't feel right. It doesn't click really nicely. So the power button might be damaged. The gentleman said that it might be water damage. This mobile. The power button doesn't feel right. So I'm just removing it from the charger now. Okay. Like I say, there was an icon that came up about the battery, but that might be the charging icon. You should get 3.6 volts out of this. I'm going to put my voltmeter to 2. No, to 20, sorry. And see if we can get any discharge off the battery. Got some fine connected wires attached to my. We're getting a discharge on the battery, so let's get that into view. You read that? Yep. And now you see there's 4.17 volts coming off the battery. So I'm quite happy the battery works, so that's that. I've only got 8 minutes just to start this one, and then I'm coming back to it. First thing I'm going to do is, the gentleman has left his SD card in there. We'll whip that, get that out. So get that inside. Get that, do that. And I'm going to investigate that batch, the button. We're going to try and find our way into this now. Okay. I have it with the charge point, the USB connected towards myself. So that I can lay everything out as it's supposed to be. So just unscrew all of the screws around the perimeter of the back piece, the back plate. Back case, sorry. Remove that back case. What I'm showing the camera there is all the white crust around the power button. It actually turned out to be soap. I think he dropped it in the sink. That soap is just everywhere, all around the motherboard. So we're going to take out the remaining screws so we can lift that logic board up and check the other side of it to see if there was soap on that side. Indeed there was, which I will show in the camera there. So first step was just to give everything a little brush to get the big bits off. And then to take a fine screwdriver and just very gently remove any more crust. Now what you see me fiddling with there is the power button. The power button has a hole in it and it's filled with soap, and that's why the button wasn't clicking properly. So there you go, and it was just clicking nicely then. So just removing the soap from inside the case there. And then give everything a brush to finish it off. There's a little game pad there which also I just gave it clean as well. And the soap had gone all the way through, and you'll see in a bit it was even between the screen. It was very tough to get this digitizer off. There's the digitizer connector that I was just showing the camera then. That needed to be undone and then moved out of the way so that the case could be lifted, the digitizer could be lifted off the logic board. There were some pads which I'm removing there with an X-Acto knife, which covered the screw holes. Just kept moving the slider back and forward because there was soap in there as well which needed to be removed. So just using an X-Acto knife to separate, get somewhere we can pry some tools in to get the digitizer off. This took quite a long time. So what we did is we pried it open with a screwdriver and then left the screwdriver in one side. And then pried the other side and put a screwdriver in that side. And then use another screwdriver to get the bottom. And there we go, the digitizer's off. When we lifted the screen up here, this is the LCD screen. we found even more soap underneath it, which you should be able to see coming up now. Yeah, it was very brief. There was soap inside there as well, so all that needed to be cleaned out. Give the screen a little clean, get the soap off, scum off of it. Now we're refitting the digitizer to the screen. Reconnecting the LCD, the ribbon cable for the digitizer. Replacing the screws that we took out. We need to get the bottom part of the gamepad into the right place on the slider. So we just attached it to the logic board loosely and then we tightened it up. And there's the base going back on. Test the slide on it and just reattaching all the screws. And then we're going to replace the battery in a few seconds. Make sure the screws are tight. Place the battery and there we go. Brilliant, job done. So that's one Sony Ericsson Xperia, totally took to pieces and put back clean thoroughly. This has been dropped in a sink or a bath, full of soap, with all that soap out, and it's working spot on. Took a fair time, but we did get there. We had to take it right down to every piece. It's a nice phone, that's well. Okay, so next it's going to be our iPad that's been on charge, and we'll see what needs to be done with that. Okay, see you later.